Hi everyone, welcome to Honey Drops Tarot. This is a reading for the earth signs, Virgo, Taurus, and Capricorn, and their twin flame connection. Earth signs, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for all of your likes, shares, and subscribes. I truly appreciate it. Just a quick note, please do not fall for any scammers. I will never reach out to solicit for a private reading. I do offer private readings, and if you're interested in signing up for one of those or in making a donation, the information regarding that can be found in the About section of my YouTube page, and I thank you so much in advance. Earth signs, I hope that you are doing well. This is a reading for the twin flames who are in separation, and if you're here as a twin flame, a cross watcher, or somebody who just wants to hear a channeled message, then I welcome you. I want to show the crystals that I have on my desk for your reading today. This is a beautiful twin quartz formation, raw formation, and this labradorite sun and moon for the twins. I've put a link to Gabi Kovalenko's explanation on the twin flame journey at the bottom of this video's description box. She goes really thoroughly in depth in the twin flame journey and does such a beautiful and cohesive job of explaining it, because it can be very complex. She does a much better job than I could ever do. So I wanted to include that, so please watch it if you are so inclined. In a nutshell, the twin flame dynamic involves two people who share the same energetic soul. They have their own autonomy and their own lives, but they do share this energy that is bonded for eternity. And there's always a runner and chaser dynamic if the twins are incarnated in the same life and meet each other, which usually they do if they're incarnated in the same life. There's a runner-chaser dynamic where there's one person who understands that they've met their person, and the other person who also recognizes it, but it terrifies them, and they run from the connection. So the purpose of the twin flame connection is for each individual to spiritually ascend, to discover their spiritual gifts, and to share those gifts with the world to raise the vibration of humanity. So it's a lot. I am a twin, and it's a lot. So I'm using 3 decks for your reading today, twins. The first one is the Mystical Shaman Oracle for the overall energy. The Psychic Tarot Oracle deck for the base spread. And this deck is the Gilded Tarot by Ciro Marchetti. I don't have the box for that anymore. So cards have been pre-shuffled. For the earth signs, please, and their twin flame connection. Wow, okay. Pachamama. Number 40, which reduces to a 4, which is the Emperor card in the Major Arcana, Aries energy. The power of all 4 kings, very, very powerful energy. Pachamama. I don't know exactly what Pachamama is, and I'm not going to look it up in the book because I'm just going to read intuitively, but I assume that it's a high priestess-like energy, a high priestess-like entity that has this otherworldly connection to not only the spiritual realm, but also very much to nature. So that would be in keeping with your element, absolutely. You could be finding a lot of solace through this connection in interacting with nature, going on hikes, putting your hands in the dirt and planting things, grounding, traveling, I also see. There's this melancholy, though, about her face. There's this kind of forlorn looking down. There's this slight little sadness. Even though there's so much dynamic power and energy fueling that character, fueling this connection. So much powerful energy. On the surface, things seem a little subdued. So 4 cards for the base spread, 4 cards for clarifier. The first 2 cards are your energy. The second 2 cards, your person. The third, the connection. And the 4th, advice from spirit. Please feel free to flip the energies between what I designate as you or your person, because oftentimes twin flames mirror one another. They mirror each other's energy. If you are in contact with your twin flame, do you ever notice that maybe if you dream about them, they dream about you? If you think about them, that's when they contact you, they call you. Maybe you found that if you've gotten a new job, they've also gotten a new job, things like that. 4 cards are down, 4 more from the tarot. All 4 came out. My, oh my. Yeah, I see some struggle within you, Earth signs, if this is your side of the story. Number 8, which corresponds to the Strength card, Leo energy in the major arcana. You could be dealing with a twin who is a Leo, or you could have prominent Leo placements in your chart. Doesn't have to be, but the words are positive movement forward. So interesting too, because for the Shaman's Oracle card, I pulled the same card for the water signs and the fire signs, which was taming the wind. And this reminds me of that ability or the effort to try and tame the wind, kind of harness something so that we can catapult ourselves into another destination, another outcome. But it is clarified for you, for your energy, as the 3 of Swords, with this 3 of Swords in reverse, which is the heartbreak card. Disappointment, grief. Grief. You could be going through something right now, or it could simply refer to the connection with your twin flame, where you're feeling like all you want to do is sail away. Like now I hear Enya's song, sail away, sail away, sail away. It's funny though, because I'm being drawn to like this current here, this, I don't know what they call it, the wake of the, I'm not sure what the boating terminology is, the sailing terminology, but it's kind of like this ripple being left by moving through the water, and it's almost like these ripples are kind of following you. So like the more you try to kind of run away from this pain, it's almost like the more exacerbated it becomes, because there may be a refusal or a rejection on your part to deal with it, which I can understand. I mean, that's kind of what I was feeling. It's like it's like this is the wake, right? It's like it's kind of trailing after you. Can I have a clarifier on the 3 of Swords in the reverse? There's that Knight of Wands again. This Knight of Wands has shown up in every twin flame reading so far. Wanting to be spontaneous, wanting to try something new, to branch out, to make a mark, to be passionate again, to feel that you want to, I just feel like I just want to feel passion again. Especially with the Strength card. It's like I want to regain a sense of self and not kind of feel the, I just heard riptide. I don't know what all these expressions mean, but I don't think riptides are very good. I want to escape the riptide of this twin flame journey. It's difficult. I kind of see you doing it. It's you can't avoid it, but it's more like you're not letting it stop you. This is two energies of really pushing forward into something very exciting. I'm going to ask for one more clarifier. What is the exciting thing that the earth signs are going after right now? What is the exciting thing? Okay, Hermit card in reverse. Virgo, you showed up in your own reading. Hermit card usually talks about isolating ourselves into the mountains, into the cave of knowledge, to try and heal, go through our dark night of the soul, right? Precisely to heal some wounds. It's like, I don't know what I'm going towards, but I'm not staying here. Wow, that feels stubborn, which earth signs have been known for, by the way. Water signs too. And now my left hand is itching. It's like receiving something. Maybe you're going to receive something. You're going to receive some abundance. That's just an aside, but feel it. Kind of was asking the question, like, what are we sailing off to? What are we galloping towards? And I got the Hermit card in reverse. So it kind of shows me that, like, Spirit just said they're coming out of their hidey hole. I don't know. You're coming out of a place of isolation. Maybe you feel like you've been in this energy too long. It's not entirely healed. I can see that for sure. It's not healed. So if you take away anything from this reading, please don't be under the impression that you're over it. I mean, I would love for you to be over it, whatever it is. Over the twin flame connection, over it, over this sadness, over it, but this feels temporary. This feels like something that's going to come back at you at some point. So, healthy piece of advice, just don't run away from it too much. Like, if you can't handle it in this moment, it's fine. But the more you ignore it, the more it's going to rear its ugly head. What is your person going through? Well, they got the number 5, which corresponds to the Hierophant energy, which is Taurus. So Taurus, you showed up in your own reading. Your person, financial and material changes. Financial and material changes. Can't help but see this highlight on the ring finger. Maybe that's why, I don't know. Is your twin married? You would know. I'm not saying you would already know. If they were, they weren't. Your twin is going through some transformation right now. They could be asking Spirit for some guidance with the Hierophant card. They could be trying to educate themselves in something right now because they're feeling very stagnant. Chariot card in the reverse. That's Cancer energy. Could be dealing with a Cancer. Take it as it resonates. The Chariot card talks about a mastery over the light and shadow aspects of who we are. Can also talk about travel, victory, but I don't see that for your person right now. Your twin is feeling very, very stagnant. Maybe they're experiencing some financial setback, some marital change or high level commitment change in status. The fives are also about being in limbo, being in the in-between, transitionary energy. Can I have a clarifier on the number 5, financial and material changes? What is this in reference to? 2 of Pentacles. Juggling. I don't know, they're juggling too much. They have too much responsibility. They don't know what they can put down. It's almost like I see this as this. I saw this immediately, earth signs, as your energy. Immediately I saw that. And it's like, here you are on the horizon, but their hands are full. Their hands are tied. 2 of Pentacles talks about balancing, juggling. They're making it work, but there's like a price to be paid. It's gonna wear them out. Their arms are gonna get tired after a while. And they can almost sense that you're on the horizon, but they can't. It's like they can't offer you anything at the moment. You know, I almost like saw this character just like chuck these 2 pentacles in the ocean and like want to jump onto your ship, but they can't. They want to, but they can't. The connection talking about number 13, which is the Death card in the Major Arcana, Scorpio energy. And the word here is transformation. So I see this character as kind of like a fairy or pixie, because I see these. I don't see it as an angel. I see it specifically as like a fairy energy, fae energy. So something otherworldly, something. You know, there's this weird kind of mask or face here. It's almost like, I mean, I don't know if it's like you work with fae energy or like it's your spirit guides. Kind of, this is like the connection. It's like somebody's coming in to comfort you, like your hand on the head here. It's like almost like a there. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay, because the connection is undergoing a transformation. The connection itself, your twin flame connection, is morphing and changing. That could feel really uncomfortable. You know, Spirit just showed me it could feel physically uncomfortable. You know, ascension symptoms, that stuff is real. If you've ever read about ascension symptoms and headaches and achiness in the body and irritability, and just because you're just picking up on so many, as your gifts start to awaken, as your psychic energies start to come online more and more and more, if you haven't learned how to protect your energy, when to recognize when energy vampires are in your midst, all of that can be draining. So when I first started reading tarot, you know, handful of years ago at this point, and I used to go on Instagram and I would go live with my readings. And the first time I ever really did it, I read for 2.5 hours straight. I read for every single, not that there were that many people, but I've read for everyone. And by the time I ended that live, I like collapsed on my bed and I fell asleep for 3 hours. I was spent. I was exhausted. But then I learned how to protect my energy. I learned about my gifts. I learned how to use them. I learned how to ask Spirit for help. I learned when to cut people off if I felt that they were being toxic. I learned a lot of things. And then by the time I, you know, probably my last live on Instagram, you know, I didn't feel any kind of exhaustion. In fact, now when I read tarot, you know, there's a little bit of fatigue if I've been doing it for several hours, but I feel excited. I feel enthralled. I feel like this is part of my calling. And I've discovered this calling through my twin flame journey. But it wasn't without its aches and pains. And sometimes it still happens. And I feel as the Spirit is really wanting to describe that to me for you right now. Like, if you're this, you know, they always use the butterfly chrysalis example, but it's potent as an example. Like, you turn into, from the caterpillar into this goo, and then to emerge as a butterfly, you're literally struggling to spread your wings. You're struggling to break free of this cocoon that you've been in. And think of yourself as a human being, as a twin, just trying to struggle to break free, not just of this cocoon of the matrix, but also to break free of what you believe are the confines of the twin flame connection, to have autonomy and to love yourself fully, right? But Hanged Man is clarifying it. This is Virgo and Pisces energy. It can be a little taxing. I mean, they're upside down. They're just like, all discombobulated, like it's just tethered and tangled and stuck. There's a reason, though. There's always a reason. Trying to gain some perspective on this connection. Let me clarify from the connection. The moon. There's some mysteries that have yet to be revealed, some secrets in this connection. Not saying that your person has secrets that are like whatever, but they could have some things that, and you could have some things that you could be holding back. Maybe it's just your emotions. That's often what it is. If only twins could just, I told my twin everything, and I think that was part of the problem. I told him literally everything that I was thinking and feeling, and I think that just terrified him, because I'm not afraid of that. You know, I'm not afraid of that. But there were some things I kept from him, and there surely were some things that he kept from me, like his feelings. But there's still some things that need to be hashed out, and it's almost like, you know, actually, it's kind of like this, like the moon orbiting the earth. It's kind of like only until you put yourself up in the tree of knowledge and get perspective can you realize that the moon might reveal something, might have something to say. It's Cancer and Pisces energy. So we're dealing with the watery depths. What's advice from Spirit? Yeah, there are some secrets. Number 7, which is the Chariot card. Again. But the words are deception and envy. You can see this mask here. Deception and envy, and the 3 of Wands in the reverse. Remember when I said it's like your person wants to chuck those things in the water and jump on your boat? And here's the boat getting closer. But it's in the reverse. Spirit is really saying to me, come clean, come clean. It's not that you have to call up your twin and just pour your heart out. If that's what you want to do, you should do it. We only live once in this lifetime, at least. But it's almost like coming clean with yourself. I feel as though, I feel as though you both are deceiving each other to a certain extent, right? Everyone does that. But there's something really key here about choices that you made, like a direction that you made, that you somehow are lamenting or regretting. And it's almost, okay, now Spirit is saying, take responsibility for your part. Take responsibility for your part in this connection, because we might have the tendency to want to blame our twin. Big tendency. But what part did we play? It's like what I just said to you, and I didn't even realize when I said, yeah, I was very upfront with my twin about how much I loved him and how I wanted to be with him, and etc., etc. I told him every single thing. But that was precisely what scared him, because it was too much. Because he had never felt a love like that before, and it scared him. Right? So, and like I can look back on it, and it's like, yeah, I was really codependent and clingy. Absolutely. Because I was afraid. I was afraid of him leaving, and I manifested that. I was so afraid of him leaving that he left. So, and now the roles are starting to reverse, and I cut him off. Right? So it's I always watch one of my favorite tarot readers, Baba Jolie. She was the one that really educated me from the very beginning and allowed me to realize that I was a twin flame. But she always talks about it in the way that she says it's not a game. It feels like a game sometimes, but it's not a game. It's an energetic exchange. It's part of the process. She also says, and I'm going to try and paraphrase her, that anybody who is narcissistic and abusive, either emotionally or physically, that's not your twin. That's a false flame. Your twin might hurt you emotionally, but not intentionally. Your twin might hurt you because they retreat, but not because they're trying to make you feel bad. They're trying to make you feel inferior. Nothing like that. Your true twin would never. They're just a mess, and you could be a mess too. But there's so much love. The key is trying to find that love in their energy and not necessarily in their physical presence. And I have the last word. Okay, Knight of Wands. Think your person, either you or your person, somebody's going to talk. Knight of Wands is all about truth-telling, a message. One of you is going to talk. Good. And that's what Spirit wants you to do. Come clean. Come clean. That's your reading, twins. I hope that it resonated. If it did, please like, share, subscribe, comment down below. Please hit the bell notification to be updated as to when I post new readings. Thank you, twins.